Why do some people build for the future while others burn through everything today? At the heart of this difference is a powerful concept in Austrian economics: time preference. It's not just about money, it's about civilization, personal growth, and even human survival. Welcome back to Bear Economics. Let's dig into the roots, meaning, and long-term consequences of time preference. Time preference is the idea that people value goods sooner than later. This is universal. We all prefer satisfaction now over later. It is a basic human characteristic. Why have it later when I can have it right now? Just shove it right in. But the degree to which we prefer it varies. That's where it gets interesting. As Ludwig von Mises wrote in Human Action, quote, "Time preference is a category of human action. It means people prefer satisfaction of a want sooner rather than later," end quote. A person with a high time preference wants pleasure now, instant gratification, and discounts the future. A person with a low time preference is willing to delay that gratification to achieve something greater later on. So let's just bring this to a real life example. The fisherman and the net. So imagine a man who catches one fish per hour, just using his hands. It works, barely. He eats what he catches and he survives the day. But one day, he sacrifices one day's worth of food, goes hungry, but he spends the time putting energy into and creating a fishing net. The next day, he uses that net and he catches 5 fish per hour. That is low time preference in action. So he foregoes a meal one day to now have sufficient amount of fish and energy that he can store, and stuff that he doesn't consume, he can go ahead and trade for other things. So now he becomes part of a larger market. He delayed his gratification, he took the short-term loss, and he gained the long-term leverage. That's capital formation. That's civilization. That's how we went from sticks in a cave to skyscrapers and spaceflight. So Austrian economists believe that low time preference is the foundation of progress. Why? Because only when people are willing to delay gratification can they build tools, save capital, and pass on knowledge and wealth to future generations. Mises again, quote, "The basis of all human civilization is saving and capital accumulation," end quote. Quote, "Without saving and accumulation of capital goods, there is no economic progress," end quote. In contrast, you have a society that's dominated by high time preference. Constant consumption, no savings, instant everything, becomes fragile, short-sighted, and very easily manipulated. Low time preference creates stability. High time preference breeds chaos. We see this everywhere. The person who invests in their own education versus the person that's always chasing the get-rich-quick schemes. The couple that saves to buy a house versus the couple drowning in debt from vacations and designer bags. The nation that builds infrastructure and teaches its youth to save versus the one printing money to pay for bailouts. One is planting seeds and the other is eating the seed corn. To be fair, there are times when high time preference makes sense. In times of crisis, war, hyperinflation, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. In those moments, it's rational to grab what you can today. But as a default mindset, high time preference leads to debt, destruction, and decay. Here's the truth that most people just don't want to hear. The good life, the free life, requires sacrifice, plain and simple. And that's what low time preference really is. A sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. It's what builds the roads, the farms, factories, the art, and the systems that we all benefit from. And it's what's being eroded by debt culture, inflation, and instant gratification. The Austrian school reminds us civilization is fragile, and only strong, future-oriented individuals can uphold it. So ask yourself, are you the person catching fish by hand every day, or the one who sacrificed a meal to build the net? If this concept hits home, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the future is built for those who think long-term. I'll see you in the next video.